What is up, everybody? It's your boy Brian with another episode here on the Brian's Custom Auto YouTube channel. Coming at you today, starting with the first job on the new lift. First job on the new lift happens to be my Trailblazer. Reason being is because I figure if anybody's vehicle is going to fall off of it, I'd rather it be mine. Not that I don't trust my work, but, you know, we do have the back end of it on wood and gravel. But it seems to be working great. Now, here's the part about being bougie. I put my truck on here to check the rear brakes. I have it entirely too high in the air to be doing brakes. But hey, it's right here in my teeth. My point behind that is I got it jacked up and all this fun stuff. And went to put the tire back on the other side because that side's already done. Get it up there and I'm holding the tire by the bottom and it falls over and bam, right in my eyebrow. So, there's no reason to have your car this high if you got a lift. But, there's the K-Tool, 8,500 pound. I'm just shouting it out for them guys because, you know, when it came in the way it did, they were super responsive. It works great. And, you know, what can I say? It's doing what it's supposed to be doing. But, I mean, guys, this is just, hang on, I'll show you how much easier. Now, maybe having this lift, we might be able to get you guys some better shots while I'm working. I'm going to, anyway. But this does make all the difference. But this is what I was talking about having it too high up in the air. There ain't no reason for it to be this high. Oh well. But hey, the caliper's right there. And for those of you who don't know, on Trailblazer SS, your rear brakes are going to be the same as a C6 Corvette of that era, 2007. So, yeah. Also, keep in mind that the brake calipers on this are stupid light, featherweight, like ridiculously light. Alright, now me, I always like to get my brakes loose first, or get the two bolts loose first, and then reach in here with a screwdriver and just kind of get the right angle there. Right angle of dangle. And when you get it right, you'll feel that caliper start compressing. Ah, that wasn't it. Try that one more again. Try that right there. Alright, when that don't work, just keep right on moving. And go to plan B. Plan B's on the other side of the car still, I think. Yep, it is. I'll step over there and grab it here in a second. But guys, this makes all the difference in the world, and I couldn't be happier, honestly. Alright, we'll let that sit. Let me grab this other tool. That other tool would be a C-clamp. Yeah, stupid lightweight. Ridiculously light. I ain't even afraid to do that. It's so light. He says, as, let me turn that another way. He says as the caliper falls and snaps the brake line. That would be my luck, guys. Okay. Is there a reason that was Anything crazy on me? Huh. We go this way with it. You want to drive your piston in as straight as possible, but sometimes you just got to go a different direction. It's now compressing, but it ain't happy about it. I foresee me having to put a new caliper on here in the near future. Don't know exactly when, but in the near future. If I can get it straight in there on the back of that bolt, maybe that would be great, but that ain't gonna happen either. So, we go back this way. Guys, that is all night long here. And you would think, being a car guy, that I would love that. But about 11 o'clock at night, 12 o'clock at night, when I'm laying down in bed, that does tend to get a little annoying. All right, there it is, completely compressed. All right, so let's set this over here, like that. Like that. And yeah. These outer brake pads didn't really look that bad. But they almost look factory. Look. There's still 30% life left on that. Alright. Here is a what I do versus what you do type of thing. Okay, you'll notice I have anti-seize out here. I don't run the grease on the back of the brake caliper or on the back of the brake pad like a bunch of people do, because I generally am washing this enough that it doesn't build up enough brake dust to make noise. However, I do tend to do this right here. Take just a little bit of anti-seize and just go around that ear, okay? You can do the same thing with grease or Vaseline or anything like that, honestly. But the reason we do that is because I'm not changing the hardware. My hardware is still good enough that by just doing this, it still gives you a lot more life left in it. And then that way you can squeeze it in there like so. And now we do the back side. Look guys, that one was shot. I really do want to upgrade these brakes at some point in the near future. Especially the rear calipers, because I've got drilled and slotted on the front. But I would like to put the matching ones on the back. And maybe do an upgraded, like maybe Brembo or something at some point. But who knows? Oh, make sure your sliders back here are working good. Mine are great. No issues there. Slide that guy there in. Slide this guy here in. Bolts back in. Bolts back in. I suppose I probably could have used the electric tools, but why? On something so stinking simple. The other thing, guys, is on most of these Trailblazers, they have air ride on the back. This one used to have it. You can see it in one of my old videos where we took all that out. Watch out for that corner, that hurts badly. But we took the air ride out, and I'll show you what I did with the ride height sensors. Just zip tied those up. That is actually the angle that they needed to be at. Heck, don't that hurt? So I just set the ride height sensors where they needed to be and twisted that around because that actually went down back here. Zip tied it right there on that bolt that goes nowhere on both sides, and that took care of the compressor wanting to run from non-stop. There's that line that got replaced right up in there. That goes to the airbags, which I still have inside, but I'll never use them. There's your compressor right there. Well, you get to see a whole bunch of different things when you have it up on the lift, like my janky exhaust system I did. That's why this sounds so good. There's the exhaust leak right there that needs to be fixed, which I can do that now. There's my frame that still looks really good. Oil leak central down there. There's the anti-lock brake brain thing. Yep. But guys, it's a game changer. It really is. So now we just got to put this wheel back on. I'll bring you back in just a minute. It dawned on me that I was going to show you putting the wheel back on here because you had to see what happened last time. I'm going to try not to completely duplicate it, but close. Again, with having this thing so high up in the air, you got to get the tire up there first. Keep in mind, guys, I don't know why they put all lightweight stuff and then put these heavy 20s on here. All right. Now on the TBSS, the wheel is hub centric. So you have to make sure you get the center of the hub all the way on. Okay? Look, that's trying to bleed in the quick there. I don't want to show it too close because might get kicked off of YouTube. Hold the wheel there. As long as you're hub centric, you can run them in like that. That's it. We are all done. All right, so now we need to lower this down, which is quite simple. We simply lift that pedal up, unhook the air hose. It's all the way down. Push it up. That was worth its weight in gold, guys, actually. It sets down just low enough that the edges grab the lift. Yeah. And set that there. We'll come up enough just to get it off the locks. Then go back. That's that, guys. We're gonna hop in and drop it off. It's a K-tool or K-tool lift worth it? Absolutely. You'd be dumb not to get it. I mean, is it made by Wildfire or Benpack? No. But why spend $10,000 on something that I've got $4,000 into and it does the same thing? I mean, just that part don't make sense to me. I mean, everything works like it's supposed to. Everything does what it's supposed to. I don't see why you wouldn't save your money. But that's just me. I'm an advocate for saving money. So, anyway, now tomorrow we bring the black F-150 up here. We put it on here. And we don't really have to raise it, but we just got to put it on here just so it's out of the weather so we can finish painting it this week. So, and yes, we're going to do a paint job on the lift. So, all right, guys, I will see y'all tomorrow. So, on from the lift, on from the Blazer, we have Scott here with his 2015 Focus. Here, you tell them what it is.
2015 Focus ST 2.0.
Sweet little ride. Sweet little ride. We are going to take some altitude out of it. By that meaning as much as possible.
We'll make it dirt nasty low.
Yeah, drag its nuts in the ground. So, yeah, we're going to start with that. He's got the whole set of coilover Bilsteins in there. And, yeah, we'll just get started taking everything apart and going with it.
So first German coilover on a project Dirt Nasty Low is on. And now we're just going through it and making sure everything's good and tight.
Good and tight. All right, so I will show you installing the second coilover on the front and on the rear. But at the moment, I've got to show you this because it looks too awesome. He did awesome. He did a great job ordering these wheels and stuff. It's too cool. So we still have to do that one. This one is done. Look at these wheels, guys. F1R with G-Force Comp 2s and the new coilover in there. Yeah, it's razor sharp.
It's gonna look great when I get the new rotors eventually too.
Yeah.
Drilled
and slotted. And here's the thing: if you decide not to upgrade the caliper, we can powder coat it in here, whatever color you want.
That'd be cool, yeah.
So we do have that option.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah. I mean, there's so many options to go with at this point. But yeah, I think that just looks so cool. I can't wait to see it once we get it set down. But in order to do that, means I need to get back there and get that back done. So, quit talking and get to work. What is it they say? If you can't work and talk, don't just talk. Like that, the rear is done. Front is done. Now we got to set this on the ground and see what the side looks like. Man, this thing looks tough. I mean, it looks like an outright rally car. Yeah, I think you did really good on this. The pick and everything. I mean, overall, the overall look at the car from back here, well, with that lift in the way. I mean, that's just, I'm not a fan of new cars, but that looks good.
And the front splitter on there looks like it's starting to down good.
Yeah. Well, let's get it set down, see how low it is. So, we decided we was going to video this on this side because we already know what we got to do. But there's a little situation that it doesn't show you in the other how-to tutorial on to do this. So let us show you. So when you get this whole thing going here, you got to take your little 8mm out of that right there. And then you got your wheel sensor here. And as you can see right there, it's a 15mm nut. And if you look real close, that's an Allen wrench head. It's a number 5 Allen wrench. The reason that's in there is because, unlike the video that they've had sitting in PB Blaster for about, what, 2 weeks, they're able to go in there and hit it with an impact and it come loose. I hit this with impact and it just free spins. So let me show you my little justification. Because you have to hold it with the Allen wrench, like so, and you still got to hold that nut. Well, the problem with that is your wrench don't fit in the square. Thanks, Ford. So now the redneck comes out. Let me show you how to do that. If you'll hold that for me. Case in point, here we are again. Got the spring compressor on. This is all loose and ready to come off. But we got to do the Allen wrench through the socket thing again. And of course, this one's a complete different size. But, I mean, there's plenty of looseness there, but you're not going to get it off with just the impact. So, let's get our vice grips and go again. You want to hold that for me? Here, I'll move to the other side so you can get a better view here of what I'm actually doing. And how, and yes, I'm doing impact work with colorful sockets, not black ones. All right. Uh-oh. 19. Let me get a wrench.
Mistakes were made.
All right, you got it. No! You're slipping. I might actually have to heat this side. There we go. It worked. And all right, guys, the secret to that is prep off. Prep off does everything. Lost your function due to a Chinese prostitute in the Vietnam War? Prep off. Need to regain your manhood? Don't use hymns. Prep off. See, I got prep all by the gallon. I just have to put it over to the spray bottle, you know, just for the crabs, or fleas, ticks, grease.
There's your dog toy.
For those of you who did not know, and Scott pointed this out to me, but every suspension you do, guys, whenever you take the suspension off your old car, if you look around, you'll find that Kong has went ahead of you and installed dog toys, chew toys. I'd say these are a good 100-pound dog power chewer, wouldn't you?
Something like that.
Yeah. Feed that to Rex and, you know.
Put some cream on the inside, keep them busy.
Oh, meow, meow. Hey, gotta be careful whose dog you do that to. You might get the owner busy. What happened? So we are finishing up at the moment, mostly. Still gotta go back to that driver's side front corner and tighten the sway, or put the sway bar link in, which means I'm probably gonna have to drill it out a little bit. That's what I had to do on this side. And this is going to be it for tonight on this, because it doesn't set quite as low as he wanted it to. And I mean, you did order this to this car, right?
Yeah.
So that's why I told him he needs to take it home and drive it for like a week, and just to get it all settled down, to see how low the suspension will sag after driving it and hitting bumps and stuff like that. Because that's really and truthfully, that's the only way to get the system to sag like it's supposed to, is to drive it and bump it and hit it and push it and all that stuff. And then once he does that, if it doesn't settle to where he wants it at, then we will come back in next week if his timing is available, and we will loosen these or lower these coilovers, which I'll show you at that time how to do that. But as it stands right now, this is pretty much complete. So we're gonna get this wheel slapped on here, go do that end link on the front, and that's that. So we just got to see what a week will bring of how much lower it'll get. Leave it in the comments how much you think it'll drop. Okay. All right, everybody, here she is set all the way down. Got all 4 Bilsteins on, coilovers all the way around the car. Gonna walk around for both sides, and then I am gonna move the Trailblazer and lay him out. But there it is, guys, looking like a rally car. There you go. Good side view that way. And one more side view this way. There you go. Leave it in comments and tell Scotty what you think about his car. I think it's a pretty cool little ride. I really do. Anyway.
Alright, so I'm riding down the road, testing out the new coilover so far. I'm not going to get into doing anything too sporty. I kind of want to let these things settle a little bit before I get into busting some turns and stuff. But guys, let me tell you, when you're buying coilovers or really any parts for a car that you like, that you're trying to make into something, don't cheap out, because these new coilovers actually ride better and smoother than the factory suspension set that was on here from the manufacturer. So I'll tell you, it's a world of a difference. I've got some cheap Racelands on my Mustang back at the house, and I'm here to tell you, it rides like an absolute pile of crap. I got the lowness that I wanted out of it, but you feel every single bump when you hit them. But yeah, I spent the extra money, got a good name brand set of coilovers, and man, it pays dividends. I tell you, this thing rides like a dream. I feel like I'm in a Cadillac right now, and I'm in a hatchback ST. You know what I mean? So yeah, I highly recommend spend the money, get the name brand stuff that you want. If you ain't got the money, just be patient and save up for it. You'll get it eventually. But yeah, just to encourage you, buy the name brand. It's so much better.
That's gonna do it for this one. Thank you so much for watching another episode of Brian's Custom Auto with your host Brian and Scotty. Hopefully you'll be seeing more of him and more videos coming in the near future, and maybe some drive-bys and things like that. Not drive-bys, but you know, drive-bys. Maybe we'll get some better content out to you guys.
Let me get my yellow banana up here.
Yeah, that's coming next. Can't wait for you guys to see that one. That one's gonna be fun. But we're gonna turn out some good work for you guys. Teach him a few things along the way. He might teach me a few things along the way. Like, I don't know how to talk like somebody. I don't know. But that's gonna do it for this one. Thank you again so much for watching. Remember, if it doesn't challenge you, it don't change you. Remember to comment, like, and subscribe, and we will see you guys on the next one. Peace.